Well, you've seen it, ladies and gentlemen, something they call the dive bomb. Is he okay? Yes, sir, he is okay. Billy Williams and something called the dive bomb. Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Chuck Thompson saying hello from the Palm Beach Speedway in Palm Beach, Florida, where this afternoon the CBS Sports Spectacular presents the Tournament of Thrills, with daring stunts like the one you just saw, the dive bomb, and then some stunts that require not only daring and courage, but stunning and almost unbelievable driving skills. All of this coming your way this afternoon, and we'll be right back with all of the action right after this message. Well, we're looking at our first event of the afternoon in our Tournament of Thrills from the West Palm Beach Speedway in Palm Beach, Florida. This is what we call precision driving, and in the automobiles today, Max Sessler and Wild Bill Ward. Wild Bill Ward up in front and Max Sessler right behind him. Now, we'd like to point out that these automobiles are not doctored in any way. This is the way they come off the showroom floor, and watch them now. Hubcap to hubcap. Driver's side up and driver's side down as they hit the rails. At a speed of about 50 miles an hour. One more time. And now racing into what we call a forward spin. And again, you have Bill Ward leading and Max Sessler following. And they'll come back and do it again, this time with a crisscross. Keep in mind now that they will be going approximately 50 miles an hour, if not better. Let's watch. And you heard it. They did nick bumpers. And that's the object of the game, as these drivers call it, to get as close as possible. And if they can give each other a little bit of a nick, the better they like it. Wild Bill Ward and Max Sessler. And now they'll line up in staggered fashion and will crisscross through the same pattern. Driver side up, driver side down, and then cross. Now the cross. And again, racing into the forward spin. And we'll come back one more time. And watch these daredevils, led by Bill Ward and Max Sessler, whipping it up now. 50 mile an hour or better, and watch how close. And if you think I was a little bit chilly with two cars, let's watch these great daredevil drivers try it now with not two, but four. The same maneuvers, the same speed. Now, Bill Ward and Max Sessler have been joined by Billy Williams and Jim Carlson. Bumper to bumper. And again into the forward spins. Now we'll come back down to do the same maneuver for you in the opposite direction. These men are dealing in inches as they crisscross at 50 miles an hour or better. A very dangerous game of tag, brilliantly executed. That forward spin looks as though it's a very simple thing to do, but a very dangerous maneuver. Your timing is all important. They start into that forward spin with a quick yank of the emergency brake and a quick thrust of the wheel. One little slip and you can roll it over. Bumper to bumper. Driver side down. And racing into the forward spins again. Now these brand new Mustangs come roaring back down the track at 50 miles an hour, or maybe a little bit better, depends on their pattern. And this time we'll crisscross. And the object is to get as close to the car in front of you as you can get. And if you give them a little nick, they love it. We're going to pair off with these four Mustangs with Wild Bill Ward, Jim Carlson, Billy Williams, and Max Sessler. and they will come down in pairs. Driver's side up on one side, driver's side down on the other, bumper to bumper. Here they come. Yes, sir, you saw a hubcap fly that time as one of the Mustangs lost a hubcap, and that's just exactly how close they are, inches apart. And now all four Mustangs racing into the crisscross pattern right down in front of the grandstand. One little slip here could be disastrous. And now watch the forward spin turn again. Bill Ward, Jim Carlson, Billy Williams, and Max Sessler. And now the same four Mustangs will crisscross, hit the ramps, and crisscross between them. Means that both driver will go driver side up and driver side down. Brilliantly executed. Here they come, the Mustang Auto Daredevils. Bill Ward and Jim Carlson. And here is Billy Williams. And the fourth and final Mustang Daredevil is Max Sessler. What a thrilling show put on by the four Daredevil Mustang drivers. And now across the way, one of the most suspenseful moments in the Tournament of Thrills. This is the head-on collision. We're looking at a car driven now by John Hardinger. This is a stock automobile. The only thing different, all of the glass has been taken out of it. This is John Hardinger. Now, the importance in this event is that both cars arrive at the same time, at the same speed, and in direct line. And now in the two-tone car is Fred Gates. It is about a half a mile around this track. The moment of impact will be around 90 miles per hour. In other words, both drivers try to get in line at 45 miles per hour. They're lining themselves up. We'll watch very carefully. This is Fred Gates. Now John Hardinger, just about coming down into the home stretch. They can get a wave off. Let's see if it's going to go. They're going to go. Let's watch. And now let's see whether or not everything is the way it should be. In car number one, here is Johnny Hardinger. He's perfectly okay, but what about Fred Gates? Still waiting to see if Fred Gates will come out of this death-defying head-on collision okay. Hardinger signifies he is all right. Here's John. But Fred Gates is another matter. Still waiting to see what... Here he is, Fred Gates, okay. And we'll be back with more of this thrilling action right after this message. Continuing with the action in our Tournament of Thrills, this lovely little maneuver is something the drivers call high skis. Now, again, I want to point out that these are stock Mustangs. They have not been doctored, nothing done to them. You've seen Bumps Willard. And in car number two, it'll be Bill Ward. Look out, he almost lost it. This is Bill Ward. Again, he'll try it. High skis, very carefully, driver's side up, and maintain perfect control that time. Car number one, Bump Willard, and car number two, Wild Bill Ward. And now watch the chase as they get back to set up and try it again. It looks as though Bill Ward is pushing him up to speeds of 50 miles an hour and better this time. And the forward spin. We'd like to have you see that again. Watch this precision driving, and just one little error, one little turn of the wheel can be disastrous. Bumps Willard. Moving it very, very carefully, lining himself up perfectly. Has he got it? He looks satisfied. Driver's side down this time. Beautiful, just beautiful. And this is Bill Ward. Look out, Bill. He almost lost it. He's got it okay. Now he lines himself up again very carefully. Almost lost that one. Almost had it get away. And now to get back and line themselves up for another performance, they'll chase. And they really, as the drivers say, stick their foot in it. Here we go again. Bumps Willard again with a high ski. And notice how very carefully he approaches this ramp. A game of inches here. One little fraction of an inch could be a lot of trouble. He's got it. Here we go. Beautiful. Look out. Hold on a minute. Right at our CBS cameraman. He stopped in time. Talk about control of an automobile. Oh, my. What about the cameraman's control, too? Would you hold your ground? I'm glad I'm up here in the ramp. Now, this is Bumps Willard. He'll try ramp number 2 again, high ski. Driver side up. Look out again, Bumps. I think that cameraman down there may have been a friend of Bumps. He just wanted to give him an extra thrill. All right, now let's watch Bill Ward. Look out! He's got it back again. Fine performance from Bill Ward. You talk about a high ski, he almost put that one over the fender, didn't he? Here they come. Bump Willard and Bill Ward. And a good hand for Bump Willard and Bill Ward. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the most thrilling and dangerous stunts in the entire show is something we call the ice wall crash. And the gentleman who is going to perform this stunt for us is Johnny Hardinger. How are you, John?
Hi, how are you?
Where do you make home?
Erie, Pennsylvania.
Erie, Pennsylvania. John, you're going to hit this solid wall of ice. How much ice?
We got 3 tons of ice here.
Just about the equivalent of a brick wall, is it
Well,
not?
yes, it would be.
And normally, I think, John, this stunt is performed with 1 solid wall of ice.
Correct.
And I'd like to again point out the fact, and keep this in mind, that Johnny Hardinger hits not 1, but as we showed you a moment ago, 2 solid walls of ice. 3 tons of ice, and how fast are you going?
Approximately 50 miles an hour.
What are the problems that could develop in a stunt like this, supposing you're not absolutely head-on?
Well, the danger is of rolling over. And, of course, we're in the back seat. We're loose. There's no safety belts. The only equipment I have is just my helmet.
And from the back seat, it can become very difficult
Well,
to get
yes,
that
if
head-on
we should
chance.
roll over, I could get thrown out and get rolled. The car could roll on me.
John, let's have nothing like that happen. The very best of luck to you, Johnny Hardinger. That's the story, the ice wall crash coming up. Johnny Hardinger at 50 miles an hour into 2 solid walls of ice. Again, we remind you that this is a standard stock automobile. The only thing done to the automobile, all of the glass has been removed. And as you heard Johnny say, the importance is to line himself up to be absolutely squared away with that wall. And sometimes he can make it on the very first round. If not, he'll get a wave off, but it's up to John Hardinger as to whether or not he will commit himself and, as they say, pour the coal to it and race across an infield or not. We'll know in a moment. Still lining along, picking up speed now, as you see. This track, incidentally, is better than a half a mile around. 3 ton of ice waiting at the other end of this ride. It looks as though Hardinger is satisfied. He's now heading for the infield. Here he comes, the ice wall crash with Johnny Hardinger. 50 miles an hour. Johnny, something's wrong. Hold it, John. Oh, my. John Hardinger has met with an accident. We hope it will not be serious. This is not part of our program, ladies and gentlemen. Something has happened. The car completely out of control, and Hardinger was unable to steer or stop. Nothing to do but wait. And in the background, the noise you hear is the wrecker. The sign, hands overhead, indicates that he's okay. He's come out of the car. That is the happiest sign around the track right now. And here he comes. You see him? Slowly, rather steep incline, but I'm not so sure whether it's the incline or the impact. You can see that John is a little dazed, but you talk about one relieved announcer. Here's one. This is the ice wall crash as none of us ever expected it. Let's see if we can talk to Johnny Hardinger. John, come on over, will you, John? Well, you've seen it. I hope that you're a little more settled, a little more calm about it than I am. And I'll be quite frank, no, this is not the way the ice wall crash goes. It was not rehearsed or planned that way. But we do have very good news for you, and the good news is the return of Johnny Hardinger. John? Oh, I know you are, John. This is a very delicate sort of a game, precision. The slightest little error can sometimes fool even the great veteran. Can you tell us a little bit about what took place here in the ice wall crash?
Well, the ice broke a little quicker than I thought it was going to.
Yes.
And I should have stopped just a few feet from the other side of the ice, but the ice gave way, and of course I had a large car, and she went right straight through.
And you just powered right through 3 ton of ice.
3 ton of ice.
And then the car did not stop the way you thought it would stop.
That's correct.
And then you had little or no control over it after that. The impact of the wall evidently had hurt the automobile so that you could not control.
I tried to steer it afterwards, but of course that ice drove the fenders right back against the tires. You couldn't turn the wheel at all.
Nothing you can do but ride it out.
Just ride it out.
John, you don't know how happy we are to have you back here. One other, on this subject, has it ever happened to you this way before?
Oh, yes.
You go right on through and then lose control? Is that a fact? Well, John Hardinger, we're so happy to have you back again. And let's not have any extracurricular activity. I think it was Bill Ward who said, John, the parking lot is that way. Not that way. Thank you very much, Johnny Hardinger. And to get his mind off the ice wall mishap, Johnny Hardinger comes right back in the slide for life. This is Johnny Hardinger. And it's something like falling off a horse, you know, get right back on it and get busy. And John has come right back with a slide for life. Now this Mustang will turn around up here and race back down. And I'll not say anything, because the sound will let you know. They pour gasoline on the track. This is the drop-off target for Johnny Hardinger, and they will ignite it. And John will try to hit the flaming circle. Now, judge for yourself on the speed. I won't have to say a word. The slide for life with Johnny Hardinger. My goodness. And look at the flames underneath him. They're beating him out right now. Oh, my. From an ice wall mishap to a slide for life with Johnny Hardinger. Great performance, John. Back with more action right after this message. We come now, ladies and gentlemen, to one of the most hazardous stunts in the Tournament of Thrills. In the truck, Bill Ward, and in the fastback Mustang, Don Chadwick. We will see Chadwick in the fastback Mustang hurtle over the top of the truck, and then Bill Ward will try to hurdle the truck over the Mustang. Now, in this particular stunt, timing is absolutely necessary. If the truck arrives a little bit too soon, a little bit too late, in front of that ramp, well, let's not think about it. This is Don Chadwick in the Mustang. And Wild Bill Ward in the truck. Bill looking back. They're getting lined up and about all set. Here we go. Ramp to ramp jump. And the jump. Ooh. Boy, that looked close, and I saw a gesture from Bill Ward, but it came off perfectly. I'm not sure. We'll check in with Bill later and find out. I'm not certain what maybe Don nicked the roof of that truck. We'll check on it later and see. And now they'll come back and reverse. As Chadwick will cross in front of the ramp, and Wild Bill Ward will attempt to jump this brand new truck over the top of that brand new Mustang. And again, they're lining up. Here's Bill Ward. He's committed. And does he make it? Beautifully executed jump. Oh, beautiful. And I'm still a little curious about that truck. And if we have the opportunity, we may be able to get a close-up picture and show you. And I kind of have a feeling that Mustang in the first jump nicked the roof of that cab. Or other than that, I can't understand Bill Ward's gesture. Here's the driver of the fastback Mustang, Don Chadwick. And here is Wild Bill Ward. And what a jump to make in a truck, huh? How about that, Bill? Yeah, there it is. That's where the left front wheel of that Mustang hit the top of that truck, and fortunately just a glancing blow. And Bill can be a little bit happy and a little bit smiling about it right now. Standing alongside me, ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest stuntmen of our time. This is Mr. Don Hill from Albuquerque, New Mexico. And Don, I can refer to you as a veteran. How long have you been a stuntman?
About 14 years, sir.
Had a long time in the movies, didn't you, in Hollywood?
Several years.
Automobile stuntman or horses?
Both.
Both?
Yes, sir.
Don, this afternoon you're going to attempt one of the most thrilling stunts that anyone has ever seen. We call it a lake jump. You're coming off a ramp that's how high?
About 4 foot.
About 4 foot. And how fast will you be going when you hit the ramp?
Somewhere between 50 and 70 miles an hour.
And that'll take you how far out into the lake, Don?
Well, we're hoping to get about 80 feet.
About 80 feet. Don Hill, I want to wish you the very, very best of luck, and we'll talk to you when you get out of the water.
Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you very much, Don. Upcoming the lake jump with Don Hill. And again, we want to emphasize the point that this is a stock station wagon, all the glass taken out, no seat belts, and Don Hill performs this jump from the front seat. Now, he'll line himself up. If it's okay, he'll come on. If not, they'll wave him off. He'll hit this at about 50 miles an hour. Still waiting to see if he's satisfied with it. If he comes into the infield, he's happy with it. And he is going to run at it. Look out, something's wrong here. He straightened it out. He's okay. Here goes Don Hill. Good Lord. What a jump. And here comes Don Hill. Great diving form, huh? Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen, Don Hill. I'll tell you, I'm in tougher shape than Don is anytime. I'm still shaking from that. Don't pull us in there, Don. That's it. My golly, what a wonderful jump. What a great, great performance from Don Hill. Don, that hood flying up, was that a problem for you?
Yes, it was. I couldn't see where I was landing.
And this is something that has happened before or not?
No, I've never had one fly up before.
It scared everybody when we saw that thing fly up in the air. We thought we might have a little bit of trouble, but fortunately, no.
It was all right.
Now that you look back on it, Don, how far do you estimate that you've jumped?
All right at 100 feet.
Have you ever jumped that far before?
No, that's quite a jump.
Don Hill, congratulations. A wonderful performance.
Thank you,
and now, ladies and gentlemen, back to the action. Coming up now in the Tournament of Thrills is an event known as the Human Battering Ram. And momentarily, this wall of lumber will be soaked in gasoline, as you see they're doing now. And then at the proper moment, it will be ignited, and the Human Battering Ram jumping on the car right now is from Pompano, Florida's own Freddie Gates, fearless Freddie Gates, and the driver is Zeke Snyder of Pottstown, Pennsylvania. Now, in this position, Gates will be driven headlong through the wall of lumber you see now being doused with gasoline. And this is not exactly the way most of us would like to spend a Sunday afternoon. Now keep your eye on Freddie Gates. No, he's not going to hit the wall in that position. He'll tuck that head down, believe me. Here we go, the human battering ram. Oh, my. The human battering ram, Freddie Gates of Pompano. We're waiting now to give the cue to Jimmy Canton, who will, on this motorcycle, hit not one firewall, but two. Jimmy is from Indianola, Iowa. Absolutely no protection other than that helmet. And keep in mind, not one wall, but two, and both in flames. Here he comes. And he's let out on this. Here he comes, Jimmy Canton. That's just the first one, number two coming. And look at the debris in the front of that motorcycle. Wonderful job from Jimmy Canton. Back with even more thrills right after this message. The fun and action in our Tournament of Thrills continues now with an event called rollovers, or wheel-to-wheel rollovers, where the drivers will run these stock cars up a ramp, turn them completely over, wheel-to-wheel, try to keep the motor running, and drive them away for another turn. Sometimes we call it he'll never make it again. Here comes Bumps Willard in car number one. A dent, and he's in fine shape. Now keep in mind these drivers have standard seat belts and the crash helmet, and that's all. And the drivers like to say that when they get a complete wheel-to-wheel rollover and the motor running and able to drive it away, they pick up a point. In car number two, this will be Billy Williams from Philadelphia. And he'll gun it up that ramp and see if he can roll it over wheel-to-wheel. A dent and a perfect rollover for Billy Williams. And again, here comes Bumps Willard with roll number two. And I don't know whether he's lost his motor or not. That's the second complete rollover for Bumps Willard, and of course these fellows are not too proud to take a little push in this event. And that's about what's going to happen to Bumps Willard right now. As a matter of fact, if they never get the motor running and they signify, they will take a push right up to the ramp in an effort to roll it over again. Oh, Bumps hasn't hurt that car even a little bit. And again, here comes Billy Williams from Philadelphia. Sounds good. Perfect running order. Billy Williams from Philadelphia with roll number two. And we'll see if Billy will be running in here for another attempt. I believe he may. We'll wait and see. Bumps Willard may have lost the motor, may have. No, here comes Max Sessler, the third participant in our wheel-to-wheel rollovers from Dayton, Ohio. Didn't jar a thing. Complete rollover. Beautifully executed by Max Sessler. Now they continue this game until they just can't look at this one. Here comes Bumps Willard again, being pushed up to the ramp. Can he get a roll? He's got it. I don't know whether it'll take another one or not. What do you think? He's just about got room in there to move his head. Bill Ward, the referee, looking things over. And I think by gesture he said, Bumps, I'm afraid that's about it. Let's see whether they'll give him a push and let him try another one. We'll know in a moment. Now, here comes Bumps Willard out, and that's about it. This stock car has had all the rolls it can take for now. And Bumps is perfectly okay. What if that's where he got his nickname? Here comes Max Sessler from Dayton, Ohio. And this will be Max's second roll. And how about that? Kept control, kept the motor running, and breezes away for yet another try. Young Max Sessler from Dayton, Ohio. And again with a push, here comes Billy Williams of Philadelphia. Number 3 try. He's got it wheel to wheel. And I'm not sure he'll get another one out of that or not. Here comes Max Sessler now that Billy Williams' car has been pushed out of the way. Still under power. And that's his third complete roll. And he may have lost the engine a little bit right now. See if he can get it started. If not, they may push him. We'll know in a moment. It looks as though that car could not possibly stand one more roll. But they're going to get him out of the way. That's Max Sessler. You know, I think maybe he's going to try it around again. He's got power. So this will be Max Sessler coming on for his 4th attempt. Comes right by Billy Williams. Billy looks a little worse for wear, would you say? Here comes Max Sessler. Get it, Max. Number 4. I don't know what's left for that automobile, but certainly it's taken a brutal pounding this afternoon. And Sessler is able to keep it running. Max Sessler. And now look at our friend Bill Williams. He's game to try it one more time in that thing. His 4th try coming. He made it. Billy Williams from Philadelphia. He needed a little bit of a push to get there, but here he is. Sessler and Williams with 4 complete wheel-to-wheel rolls, and the crowd loves it. We come now to one of the most skillful driving exhibitions you'll ever see. In the Mustang is Don Chadwick in what we call a reverse spin. Now watch it. How about that for maneuverability?
Worked less well. But Helen was not a part of the generation that was reading her magazine, and more her age was showing. In 1988, Cosmo published a Helen-approved article that claimed that most young women were not really
Now think about this just a moment. Here, Don Chadwick in the Mustang and Bill Ward in the truck, in reverse gear, floorboard it, spin 180 degrees, and come out of it in forward gear and drive right along. You think this doesn't take skill and daring? Don Chadwick on the way. Here he comes. Whoa, hold on to it, Don. Look now. Oh, boy. No harm done, just a little dust. And now Bill Ward in the truck. I should add one hand on the steering wheel. I'll never tell you how they do it. Don Chadwick and Bill Ward in the Tournament of Thrills. Reverse spins. Don may whip this one around a little more than 180. And he has. Here is Don Chadwick stepping out so the crowd can give him the hand he richly deserves. Nice going, Don. And now our gentleman trucker, Wild Bill Ward. Way to go, Bill. Back with still more thrills after the following message. We're about all ready now for a stunt known as the T-Bone. And the object of this stunt, as it'll be performed by Max Sessler, is, I've always thought, to smash up not one, but 3 cars all at the same time. Now, young Max will attempt to hit the roof of the first car, flip over completely, and land on the roof of the second car. Now, this requires a great deal of skill because the speed is all important. And you can take a look at that automobile and figure that, well, the speedometer can't be in the very best of shape, so Max Sessler has to more or less drive this one by the seat of his pants. He's got to feel the car. Here he comes, Max Sessler and the T-Bone. Beautifully executed. If he is okay. Is he okay? T-Bone, Max, how are you? Okay? My goodness, turn around here. They want to get a look at you. Here he is. Okay. Come on over here, Max. Oh, you scared me. You really did. Did the stunt go as you intended it to go, Max?
Just the way I wanted.
Max Sessler, I'm a lot more excited than you are. You have to forgive me. Where are you from?
I'm from Dayton, Ohio.
And, Max, why do you perform in such a matter? What's the reason for it, other than just that it will make you a little bit of money or a lot of money?
Well, I like the excitement involved in it. Also, it pays my tuition to go to school.
Where do you go to school, Max?
Well, I'm a junior at Ohio State University in Commerce.
You're a junior at Ohio State University, and what are you studying? What do you intend to be, Max?
I plan to be an accountant.
An accountant, huh?
Right.
Max Sessler, you've given us one of the great thrills in the Tournament of Thrills. We congratulate you on a wonderful stunt, and I think I called it, what did I call it, the T-dive, and it's supposed to be called the what? T-bone? T-bone. A wonderful job, Max Sessler. Congratulations. Good luck to you, and we'll see you again. Righto, Max. Thanks a lot. No end to the thrills in the Tournament of Thrills, and while they're clearing the 3 automobiles that were demolished out there on the track, take a look at this dandy little exhibition. Up on the motorcycle is Billy Atterbury. Bill Atterbury on the cycle with Bill Rogers and Dick Wood riding below. Now, this 600-foot-long cable is stretched out over the lake, and they will be 100 feet in the air. Bill Atterbury. What a ride. Still going up, and when they reach the peak, they'll be 100 feet in the air over the lake with nothing but a motorcycle. They've made it. Bill Atterbury, Bill Rogers, and Dick Wood. And now coming up in the Tournament of Thrills is one of the most unbelievable driving skills known. And let's listen to the driver, Al Gross.
Got her up, going pretty good now, headed for the first turn. See if I can get through this turn. Going into the first turn, going pretty well.
This is Al Gross of Tampa, Florida. This is a half-mile banked track, and Al today is shooting for a new world record. He would like to make 1 complete cycle, if he can keep it in the groove. A 2-wheel driving contest. Al Gross at the wheel. We mentioned earlier the maneuverability of these beautiful Mustangs. Certainly you'd have to say that this is a perfectly balanced automobile. Now take a look at the yard markers behind him. 600 yards. $700 yards. Now this track is a little bit longer than a half a mile for one complete circuit. Still on 2. He's got it in the groove. Al Gross. Let's see if we can hear driver Al Gross.
That's a ramp now. Down a front stretch into the first turn again.
This requires unbelievable skill from driver Al Gross. Now, remember, this is the second go-round. He will go over a mile if he can keep this Mustang in the groove. Steering with one hand, one arm. Looked like he lost it a little bit, but he seems to be getting it back into the groove again. The second time around. And if he can make it all the way around in this second tour, it will be a new world record, something that has never been done before by anyone over a half-mile banked track. And Al Gross looks to me as though he has a great chance of doing it. Steady as a rock. This is an almost unbelievable driving feat. When he comes by 900, he'll have passed a mile, more than a mile. He's got it. He's got it, a new world's record for Al Gross. What a performance. And you think he's not happy, and something I want you to look for now as he turns to the infield. Watch him flex that arm that held on for a new world's record. Al Gross of Tampa, Florida. We'll be back with the World's Aerobatic Championship from Bilbao, Spain, after the following message.